enjoy that tunnel and coming back? Excellent, excellent. Now I'm going to talk about some of the scenery that we can see, and I am a tad worried because sometimes we get an amazing view and the sun is shining upon Scotland's beautiful heartland. Today the weather is not ideal, but I will try. Right, the kelpies, this is why I bring them up. This is why I try to bring up stuff first when we're at the top of the wheel the first time. You can just see them in the distance, although barely now. Did you see them the first time, or the few people that didn't see them? Right, I'll quickly describe them again. Right, if you see a shop with a dark green frontage, a sort of a dark green rectangle, and then gaze your eyes upwards from it, you'll see two horses' heads, and quite honestly I can barely see them myself. I'll talk about them anyway. Some of you are on a coaster, and are you doing the kelpies as well today? People often do both things. Right, okay, some of you will see them up close later on then. And I'll give you a few facts about them then. They are the world's largest equestrian structure. And the two horses are named after two real-life Clydesdale horses. The one on the left is called Baron, the one on the right is called Duke. And they were two very famous horses in their own right, as two massive Clydesdale horses. They were huge. And the structure was built partly in homage to Scotland's heavy industry when things were pulled by horses during the Industrial Revolution, and partly because, as the name suggests, they are kelpies. They are mythological creatures from Scottish folklore. For those of you who don't know, back in the day, children were told not to wade out to sea too far, because if they did, the kelpies, which were horse-like creatures coloured green, would come up from the seaweed, from the kelp, and they would drag you into the sea and drag you to the very bottom of the sea, where you would then be killed and eaten. Welcome to bonny Scotland. You've all heard of Loch Ness, probably. Definitely. People think that Loch Ness may probably be a kelpie. And as somebody who works for the tourism industry, I will push that the Loch Ness definitely is in there. There's quite a few Scottish sea monsters actually, apart from Loch Ness, which are not quite as famous. I won't have time to go into all of them. But along there, you probably saw it's gone behind the trees actually. We're doing a much quicker rotation than usual to get out of the wind. I think we may have just missed it. To the right of that was Scotland's very own version of Manhattan, Grangemouth Oil Refinery, Scotland's only oil refinery. Not quite as aesthetically pleasing as the kelpies, but it's closing down sadly, leading to lots of job losses, so I won't talk about it too much. If we look around there before it disappears, this is the quickest we've ever rotated down ever. This is I'm having to race through this. We can see the beautiful Cleoch Hills, also known as the Campsie Fells. And if we look right round to the port side, we can't see it now because of the visibility, is the famous mountain of Ben Lomond, one of Scotland's most famous mountains, one of the 200 Munros in Scotland, which are mountains over 3,000 feet, or 914.4 metres into the metric system. I'm quite a keen hill walker myself, about 15 times. I have a good friend who just last weekend I joined him for him climbing his 282nd Munro. He's completed all of them and he's so excited about it, he's now writing a book about climbing the Munros. I've tried to inform him, lots of people have climbed all 282 and lots of people are writing books about it, but he is undeterred, so yeah, I wish him luck. Maybe I'll get a few photographs of myself in there or something. I've got a feeling he probably want me to proofread parts of it, and that won't be fun, but never mind. Anyway, I digress. Along that way, behind the trees, you can't see anything nowadays, that is where the 11 original lot to be. That would take boats from the Forth Clyde Canal, that was below us, to the Union Canal, that was above us. And originally, before this amazing feat of engineering, the Falkirk Wheel was built, it would take 6 to 8 hours for a boat to navigate the 11 locks. Now it only takes 4.5 minutes, as we are doing just now. And in the olden days, the canals would be much, much busier with boats. They carried coal, carried wood, carried textiles, all sorts of things around Scotland. And then as railway infrastructure became more sophisticated, the canals became more and more redundant, until in 1962 they were finally closed. And between 1997 and 2003 it was decided the canals would reopen 35 miles from the west of Scotland to here, and then 31 miles, as I said, from above us to Edinburgh, and it opened up for tourists. and it's been a great success so far. Lots of canal boats are used by people. This is an unusually quiet day actually. At the weekends there's canal boats everywhere. And the Falkirk Wheel, this is a nice thing, it's completely free for anybody to use. It only uses 1.5 kilowatt hours of electricity to do rotation, roughly the same energy efficiency as boiling 8 kettles, and because of that it's free to use for everyone, not just people with licensed canal boats. People use canoes, kayaks, stand-up paddleboards. As long as you phone up 24 hours in advance, we'll let you do a rotation. It was opened in the year 2002 to stay the Queen. The Falkirk Wheel celebrated its 23rd birthday a few weeks ago, and to much fanfare the Queen pressed a button and all the lights went on and the wheel did a rotation for the very first time, or so she thought. It was decided that it was because of some electrical thing. She was handed a doorbell that cost £4.99 from a local shop, and she was told if you pressed it, it would start the wheel turning. In fact, people from the control centre were watching her very carefully, and they pressed all the real buttons to get it working. Unbeknownst to her, Madge. And sadly, the Queen was unable to do a rotation on Falkirk Wheel. You're all doing something today the Queen was not allowed to do. It was decided by her bodyguards, her safety people, her sort of entourage, that there may be snipers hiding in the forests, hiding in the trees, believe it or not. So it was decided it was too dangerous for her to use the Falkirk Wheel. Bit of a shame for the Queen, all that money, all that privilege, and she's not allowed to do normal things that tourists are. But anyway, so that's how it all started. There are 350 computer checks that are done by that building just in front of us before each rotation. Both gondolas have to be in precise balance. According to the Archimedes principle, a boat will displace the exact volume of water that it contains. So if there's a boat on this gondola but not on the other one, checks have to be done to displace that exact amount of water on the other gondola, so the weights of both are exactly equal. We're at the bottom now and the gates are going to open in a second, so I'm going to have to wrap this up there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming. I thank you on behalf of myself and my two colleagues, Jim and Gary. I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon, and if you've got any questions, do let me know.
I've got a question.